What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Benton Yaun. We are here for Touch Them All Tuesday. Doing one sweep recording this week, but we're going to be releasing this one on Tuesday, so hope you guys are doing well. We're going to be talking about the STO Aspen Coin, which is tokenized on Tezos. So we have a couple different articles that I'm going to walk you through today. First one's going to be a quick hitter. Second one's going to break down more into Aspen Coin and the details behind what's going on, not necessarily about Tezos, but this first article kind of tells us a little bit about what's happening with this coin. So let's jump right in. So Q3 through Q4 is predicted to be filled with bullish Tezos adoption news. Two DEXs will go live, Dexter and Quippy Swap. Another digital exchange named ERX is said to be launched this period too, including a Tezos-based utility token named ERX token. The STO Aspen Coin, which is tokenized on Tezos, will be trading on tZERO. So Aspen Coin is an asset-backed security token. In this case, Aspen Digital Inc. owns the St Regis Aspen Resort in Aspen, Colorado. This property is tokenized, which means that the total value is legally digitalized and distributed to investors through a private Reg D 506 offering, which is compliant with the laws of the jurisdiction in which it's sold. These tokens are digital securities and can be traded as long as regulations are enforced, which is done through smart contracts, KYC, and AML checks. It also has a couple of good videos here. It looks like we have Stéphane Debat. I have no idea how to say his name. Sorry if I butchered that. But looks like he has a TED Talks here where he goes into this whole thing. So I have not watched the video yet, but this will publish the link to this in the comments so you guys can take a look at that if you want. Real quick, so STO, for those who don't know what that is, STOs are fungible negotiable financial instrument that holds some type of monetary value, i.e. an investment product that is backed by real-world assets such as a company or property. A security token, therefore, represents the ownership information of the investment product recorded on a blockchain. When you invest in traditional stocks, for example, ownership information is written on a document issued as a digital certificate, e.g. a PDF. For STOs, it's the same process. Both can be recorded on a blockchain and issued as a token. So security token offering, STOs, now that you guys know what that is. Now let's get into the details behind this whole project. So very cool that's being done on Tezos. Love that. I think that's super cool that this tokenization of a real estate venture essentially is happening for the Aspen coin on the Tezos tZERO. So now let's get into what's happening behind the scenes with this whole thing. So this Aspen Coin, the first real estate security token offering. This article breaks down everything you need to know. Really cool insights. It pretty much is going to show us that you have to be an accredited investor to be able to get involved with this within the first year, but we'll go into that a little bit later. So Indiegogo's website appeared a special page regarding to a security token offering short for STO project about a real estate project. So the St. Regis Aspen is located in the famous resort of Aspen, Colorado, home of year-round events such as the World Cup ski races, the ESPN Winter X Games, the Food and Wine Classic, and the Aspen Music Festival. So this is all the background. Beautiful place. I have never actually been to Aspen itself. Been to a lot of other areas of Colorado, but I hear Aspen is a very nice resort to go if you love the high-end skiing and what they have there. So besides St. Regis Aspen Resort itself, there are multiple participants involved in the STO process. This chart below shows their relationships. So as you can see here, this is the breakdown of what's going on. At the center, we have the St. Regis. Indiegogo, which is the marketing platform, goes into the Aspen Digital Coin, Temple Markets. This is the issuance and trading platform, Elevated Return LLC, management, blah, blah, blah. So what happens is this article breaks down all of these players inside of this game here. So it kind of tells you what role they're playing. So Aspen REIT is recently formed company that intends to own the St. Regis Aspen Resort. Quite interestingly, Aspen REIT filed for IPO almost a year ago, offering 1,675,000 shares at $20 per share, aiming to becoming the first single asset REIT to trade on an American exchange. However, management decided to withdraw the IPO later, saying it's modifying its offering process. They start to work their security token offering under Reg D 506C. So Templum Markets LLC is both the issuance and trading platform for the Aspen Coin. It is a financial technology company and broker-dealer registered with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission and the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. Templum Markets is the operator of an alternative trading system for the secondary trading of digital assets that are securities. Aspen Coin will be issued using ERC20 token, ERC20 standard. Worth to mention that there are also other security token standard being tested right now, such as ERC 1450. Elevated Returns is a New York-based asset management company laser focused on offering extra value to its stakeholders. The firm acquires and manages assets across a range of service industries, including hospitality, real estate, and a number of consumer brands. Indiegogo hosted the security token offering marketing activities set up in 2008. Indiegogo, famous for helping small, innovative projects holding crowdfunding. Indiegogo also has an equity investing platform for traders wanting to invest in shares of startups and platforms. Goes on to talk about the TAO, T-A-O. From Templum Markets website, we can see they use the word Aspen Digital Tokenized Asset Offering, T-A-O, instead of STO, but we think they're the same thing. A TAO is a private placement offering allowing an issuer to raise capital through a sale of digital securities utilizing the blockchain. Underlying products could include things like real estate, private equity funds, early stage companies, growth stage companies, special purpose vehicles. This goes on to talk about like a bunch of legal jargon, all the eligibility requirements, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to skip on. So one very important aspect of doing STO under Reg D 506C is that only accredited investors can participate in the token offering. One principal purpose of the accredited investor concept is to identify persons who can bear the economic risk of investing in these unregistered securities. So the criteria of an accredited investor, this is why in the beginning I mentioned that the accredited investors are the people who are pretty much in this game for the first year and who this is all offering. So we're going to walk through what an accredited investor is. Any individual whose net worth or joint net worth with that person's spouse at the time of his or her purchase of an interest exceeds 1 million. Okay, so this is pretty much, you have to be like buku rich. You have to be, like a firm. Any individual who has an income excess of 200,000 of each of the 2 most recent years of joint income with that person's spouse in excess of 300K in each of those years and reasonably expects to reach the same income level in the current year. Okay. Any trust with total assets of excess of 5 mil, not formed for the specific purpose of acquiring an interest whose purchase is directed by a sophisticated person as described in Rule 506BD2. You get the point here. You have to be like super rich. You have to be a trust. You have to be a firm to be able to get in day one with this thing. But interesting to think about if Aspen, the resort, St. Regis, whatever, that group is offering their real estate and tokenized assets, what they're doing is they're kind of crowdfunding their real estate in a way. So my first initial thought about this is I wonder if there's a way that you can tokenize a house that you would like to buy, to where if you wanted to crowdfund 49% ownership of the house to an investor or a crowd of investors, you could tokenize that so that you still own 51% of the house. However, the investors are there as kind of like a financial backing. So this is kind of all new, the real estate tokenization thing for me. I have not looked into it. So if you know information about this, please leave comments in the section below, because I would love to do some research and homework on this stuff. I find it actually pretty fascinating if this is the case. So comparison between REITs and versus security tokens from expense perspective, even though both tokenized asset offerings and publicly listed REITs allow investors to own a piece of a high quality asset, publicly listed REITs are expensive to set up. Furthermore, that's also maybe a reason why they didn't pursue the IPO instead of doing the STO. So maybe that's another reason. So furthermore, REITs are typically buy and hold vehicles. So most investors are shut out of development projects entirely unless they can meet minimums, which are often on the order of 25K and higher. One day you might be able to buy $10 of a single commercial real estate asset like the Empire State Building, or invest $100 in development of LED diversified housing project. Ideally, real estate focused token exchanges will increase liquidity for asset owners. This is second thought here from the author. Information disclosure under Reg D 506C. There's no specific requirement on disclosure, which left it being completely driven by market demand. As a result, investors have limited information to properly judge the risk being associated. Companies will have flexibility for what kind of information they want to disclose to the public. Ooh, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I think disclosure is a must in these situations. It's new stuff. I feel like if you're not disclosing a lot of stuff, then it seems a little shady. Voting right. Aspen token holders are not being entitled to voting right and thus have limited influence on companies' decision making and future strategy or even the dividend distribution policy. Yikes! I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like if you hold these tokens, you got to have some sort of voting right. I feel like if you're a shareholder in a company, you have voting rights, and they don't even decide on how the dividend distribution policy works. Little sketchy here. Unknown dividend distribution schedule. One argument that commonly brought up by the proponents of security tokens is that security tokens are backed by actual assets and thus make them a safer means of investment. With the underlying asset being a REIT, investors may even expect positive cash flows as 90% of the net taxable income are required to be distributed. This goes into breakdown, I believe, Aspen's balance sheet, and it does bring up a good point. So Aspen just turned profitable in the year 2017, mainly driven the increase in total hotel revenues. With the occupancy rate stays roughly the same, such increase was contributed by the raise in a average daily rate. So they've jacked up their rates, and looks like they pumped up their revenues. So that's interesting. So the actual real estate itself has not grown in value in comparison to the average daily rate, which is essentially the rental fee for renting out a room in Aspen at this. I'm assuming they're talking about St. Regis. So as of early this year, there's 119.4 million mortgage outstanding for St. Regis. I wonder how that works into this too. Very interesting stuff here. Last couple thoughts here, and we will wrap up this article. So the lockup period, the normal case is after you invested under Reg D 506C, there is a 1-year lockup period. After that, you can start to trade your token through the listed registered exchanges. Non-accredited retail investors could participate trading after the lockup period. So for all those investors getting involved, they have to hold on to it for 1 year. We notice there's a special exemption for the lockup period. It says there is initial lockup period for 3 months. Then you can trade with other accredited investors under exemption 4A7 if the token could be listed on the registered exchange. Interesting. So I guess, there is a way to maybe get out of this if you are an investor and you're not really feeling right after the first 3 months, so you can sell it to another investor. Interesting. So threshold to get in SEO under Reg D 506C is only open to an accredited investor in the first year. We have listed the requirement above, blah, blah, blah. So Aspen Coin is an early adopter of real estate tokenization, which we're likely to see more STO cases emerging from the domain of real estate, and it is an industry well suited for STO. Love it. That's what I just said earlier. I think real estate's prime for this kind of stuff. Real estate is outdated. You can see a lot of the newer companies in that space doing the Redfin, or finding an agentless like real estate broker. That's kind of the new trend from what I know about the industry. But SEOs seem like ripe things for this stuff. And this also brings me up to another point where Dunwiddle, the NBA player from the Brooklyn Nets, he offered a tokenization of his contract. So that was more geared, I think, towards like the DeFi space, but it is a tokenization of some sort. So it kind of reminds me of this real estate tokenization where he has people essentially buying an investment in him, and he's loaning out his money as his guaranteed contract through tokenization. So all interesting stuff here. I'm excited to see what happens with this, especially with Aspen Coin being tokenized on Tezos. Really cool stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed Touch 'em All Tuesday. Today we're going to see you Wednesday for World Cup Wednesday. Stay tuned. stay tuned. If you have not liked, subscribe, go to our YouTube channel, Crypto Live Leak. Make sure you smash the like button and the notification. Also, check out our swag shop. It is posted on our website. It's all of our Twitter. It's all over my Twitter. We got swag. We got Tezos swag. We got the Bull Run is coming, limited edition. It's going to be available until September 1st. We're going to be rotating out every 2 weeks a new design for all of our Tezonians out there. Make sure you check it out. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, over and out.
Here's David Ortiz. You see that number today with 3 hits. This could be 4. Back it goes. It's over. The Red Sox win.